Okay, so I will start. Hello, my name is Izabela Szymańska, and I work at the info point of European Union in Wrocław, Poland. And what we do is we give information about European Union to the citizens of Poland and of our region. And we also give European lessons and traineeships for young people. So that's what we do. And right now, I would like to tell you more about EU citizenship and how does the European institutions work. I cannot say I'm an expert in all of this because I'm not a professor or something like that. But what I know and what I learned, I want to tell you. And I think we should start with the simplest of them all. What is the definition of the European Union? And the definition that I prepared for you, because there is no one definition. Definition that I prepared for you is that the European Union is a unique partnership, economic and political, between 27 European countries. Right now we have 27 countries in the European Union, and that can change in any time. That we will talk about it in a second. But first, I want to show you the most important facts. So Europe is one of the 7 continents with over 700 million inhabitants. So we have also 46 countries in Europe. On the other hand, 27 countries belong to the European Union, and in European Union we have 446 million inhabitants. So that's the key facts about the Europe and European Union that you should know. You have here the map of the member states of the European Union with year what country joined the European Union, and starting all of this in 1951 was Belgium, Germany, France, Italy, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. They started the European integration with European coal and steel community. And over the following years, the countries developed common institutions and groups, and more countries wanted to join the European Union. And there are some criteria when you can join the European Union, and these criteria are called Copenhagen criteria, and it's all about stability of institutions that guarantee the rule of law, the human rights, and respect and protection of minorities, and also a functioning market economy and the ability to cope with competitive pressure and EU market forces. And it is very important to see all of this. And how in the last country to join European Union is Croatia, who joined in 2013. You can also see that the biggest integration process took place in 2004, when 10 countries joined the European Union, 8 from the south, western south parts of Europe, and 2 that are islands like Malta and Cyprus. So you see this, and also we have a little star next to United Kingdom, who joined in 1973, and you probably know why. It is all because United Kingdom decided to leave the European Union. They officially left the European Union in 2020, and it was called Brexit. It was a very long process, and it was very loud about it all in the media. So that's why there is a little star, because they joined and then they left. And you know, the most important in European integrations for normal citizens are the symbols that we held, because like every country has their own symbols, European Union also has symbols, and the most important ones are the flag of European Union, and and the flag shows a circle of 12 golden stars on a blue-black background, and the stars symbolize unity, solidarity, and harmony among the people of Europe. And 12 stars are not a symbol of are not the symbol of number of member states or something like that. It's just a symbol of perfection and integrity. And next we have the anthem, which is Ode to Joy, and it's the final cantata of Ludwig van Beethoven's symphony, and it was adopted as the anthem of the European Union in 1972. Next, we have motto. I'm sorry, because at the slide it's in Polish, but it sounds united in diversity. And the motto was adopted in 2000 and means that to ensure peace and prosperity and protect the richness of cultures and traditions and languages that we have in Europe, Europeans should act together. It's very important to remember that even if we are so diverse, and every European country and every European nation has their own traditions, languages, and history, we can still work together and be united. And our last symbol here is Europe Day, which we celebrate on May 9th. And Europe Day was established to so we can remember about the declaration that one of the fathers of European Union, Robert Schuman, made a speech, and on the 9th of May, Robert Schuman said and presented the vision of the new form of political cooperation in Europe that would make war between European nations unthinkable. And that's why, because of this speech, the European integration, you can say, started. So that's why we celebrate Europe Day on this day. And I hope that in every country there is some kind of celebration that is held for European member states must meet that so-called convergence criteria. It's a very complex subject, so I don't think we should talk about this today, because the criteria are very economical, and it's a little bit more. It's a little harder to understand, especially if you are not learning it in your first language. And in Eurozone, the countries that use Euro right now, there are 20 countries. The last country to join was Croatia, which joined in 2000 this year. At the 1st January this year, they joined to Eurozone and they joined to Schengen zone at the same time. So that's the last country that joined this zone. And we have Schengen area, as I mentioned before, that Croatia joined the Schengen area. You can see on the map all the countries that are in Schengen area are blue. The countries that are yellow, they want to join the Schengen area, but they don't meet all of the criteria that they need to meet to join the Schengen area. It's about security of the borders. And the Schengen area is an area where borders have been abolished, and the free movement of people guaranteed by the Schengen area means the right to live, to study, to work, to retirement, anywhere within these countries that are in Schengen area. And in Schengen area, right now we have 27 countries, but they are not the same as EU countries, because we have Ireland, which maintains an opt-out clause and manages its own common travel area together. They did it with United Kingdom. Right now, United Kingdom is not in European Union, so Ireland do this by themselves. And because this opt-out clause that I told you about, it's the fact that when they were signing all the treaties to join European Union, they decided that they don't want to do this law, and that's why Schengen area is they don't need to join Schengen area. It's the same with Eurozone, because as you know, in Poland we don't have euro, but because we signed all the treaties, some time from now we will need to join Eurozone when we will meet all the criteria. But when it comes to Denmark, they signed the opt-out clause too, so they will never need to join Eurozone, even if they are meeting the criteria. That's the difference about clause opt-out and about normal signing of the treaties. And it's very important to know about Schengen area, because as you know, for our parents or grandparents, it was not so easy to travel around Europe as it is for us. And I'm sure you know about this because you are an exchange right now. So you know how easy it is to take part in some activities that are about traveling or working or studying in different country right now. So that's why we have Schengen area. And right now I want to move to the subject or our lessons. And I want to start with explaining to you some differences about some of the definitions. And right now I want to start with what is national identity. So the national identity is the sense of separateness from other nations shaped by nation-building factors such as national symbols, language, awareness of origin, the history of the nation, blood ties, cultural heritage, territory, or national character. I'm sure that all of you know what is national identity, and I know that probably all of you feel the national identity to some country and some nation. And you know what is national identity, so what is European identity? It is a sense of being European, feeling connected to Europe as a whole continent, and shaped as a result of the development of European integration, the permeability of borders, and strengthening of ties between nations. It's something unbelievable because when the European integration started, I don't think anyone would ever say that they are European. And right now it is very common to say that, like I can say I'm Polish and I'm European. It's something that it's very common for me. And we know what is now. Now we should know the definition of European citizenship, and it is the main element of creating a European identity. It defines the relationship between a citizen and the European Union. An EU citizen is a person holding the citizenship of one of the countries belonging to the European Union, and loss of citizenship of member country means loss of EU citizenship. Something that we all have if we are from European Union country, if we have our member state citizenship, we also have European Union citizenship. And as you know, it's not the same as identity, it's not the same as feeling European, but it helps a lot because of all the actions and all the things that European Union does to make us closer and to make the European Union motto, united in diversity, stronger. It's all what makes this European identity stronger. And as you can see on this map, more than 6 in 10 Europeans are aware of the term citizen of the European Union and now know what it means. The highest responses are from Italy, Spain, and Poland is not far behind. It's 76% knows and is aware what it means to be a citizen of the European Union, and it is still growing, and from time to time when the research are when the people do the research, it grows much more with every year. So we are happy about it that so many people know about it and can feel this European identity. And because of the European Union citizenship, you all have your rights. And the rights of the European Union citizens are non-discrimination on the basis of nationality, move and reside freely within the European Union territory, vote for and stand as a candidate in European Parliament and municipal elections, which is very important because, as you know, we can vote for European Parliament in the next year, in 2024. And it is very important to remember about the fact that in May next year, we all can how we want European Union to look in the future, because we choose European Parliament, and European Parliament has a lot of saying in decision-making process. So that's why we need to choose people that we agree with, and we want our future to look how they say they want to look to Europe look to. And as you know, European Parliament also picks the president of the European Commission later. So it is very important because we don't only choose European Parliament, but we also have a saying in who they will choose as president of European Commission and the College of European Commissioners. And back to the rights of the European Union system. Consular protection. It is something that in different countries when we are traveling. It's just simply a help from the embassy or the consulate of any other EU country or to EU citizens in distress in a country outside the European Union where they have no embassy or consulate of their own country. So, for example, if you are traveling to some country in, I don't know, Africa, that maybe they don't have a consulate for me, they don't have a Polish embassy or Polish consulate in this country, and I need to I need to talk to someone. I lost my passport or something like that. Then I can go to any other embassy or consulate of any other EU member country, and I will get the help that I need. And other rights are petition to the European Parliament and complain to the European Ombudsman, launch or support a European Citizens Initiative, asking the European Commission to propose legislation on an issue that matters to them, and contact and receive a response from any EU institution in one and access European Parliament, European Commission and Council documents under certain conditions. And right now there is this video I want to show you, which is about EU citizenship rights. And I'm not sure if you will hear the voice, so tell me if, right now.
As a national of an EU country, you are automatically an EU citizen. EU citizenship comes with lots of benefits, such as the right to move and reside anywhere in the EU, subject to certain conditions. This means your home can be anywhere in the EU. You can stay in any EU country for up to 3 months. All you need is a valid ID card or passport. In case you decide to settle down for more than 3 months, then you simply need to register as a resident. The requirements will differ depending on the country and on the reason for your stay. As a worker, once you have proof of employment, you're free to stay as long as you want. As a job seeker, you can move to another EU country for up to 6 months. As a pensioner, you enjoy the right to live in any EU country. All you need is health insurance and proof you have the means to support yourself. As a student, the same conditions apply, as long as you are enrolled at an approved school or university. Your EU citizenship comes with additional rights. In fact, your family can join you in your new EU country. And you have the right to vote and be a candidate for local and European elections. After 5 years of legally residing in another EU country, you can apply for permanent residency. You are always at home in the EU.
So that was one of the rights explained, the right to travel and to work and study across the European Union. And one of the most important documents for the rights of the citizenship is the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the European Union. And the convention is divided into chapters and articles. The chapters are dignity, freedoms, equality, solidarity, citizens' rights, and justice. And there are all the countries signed it, so it's like the most important for human rights document of European Union. And right now, I want to tell you a little bit about European Ombudsman, which is one of the most important for us, because it is an institution body of the European Union that holds the institution, bodies and agencies to account, and she promotes a good administration. The current ombudsman is Emily O'Reilly, and she is on this for quite some time. And ombudsman helps people, businesses, and organizations facing problems with the EU administration by investigating complaints, as well as by proactively looking into broader systemic issues. So you can also make a complaint about how you were mistreated by administration, and the European Ombudsman is the one that you make complaint for, and the institution can help you. And right now, we will go to the institutions of the European Union. And first, I want to show you a quick video of some of the information about the people that are running the institutions, maybe a little bit older.
The EU has many institutions, the most prominent being the Council, Commission, Parliament, Eurozone, and Court of Justice. The European Council is like a board of directors, made up of leaders of each member state. They meet a council president, currently Charles Michel. The council makes key decisions on the overall direction of the EU, including new treaties, new member applications, and institutional reforms. This has enabled it to become an important motor for European integration. They're also responsible for appointments to EU institutions. The Commission President, for example, is nominated by the Council. While the Council sets the agenda, the Commission makes it a reality. At the top of the Commission is a college of commissioners, with one commissioner from each. The college acts like a cabinet, with each commissioner responsible for an area of policy. For example, Phil Hogan of Ireland is the Commissioner for Trade, or Estonia's Kadri Simson, who's responsible for energy. The Commission has four main responsibilities: drafting and implementing EU laws, representing wider EU interests, managing EU finances, and representing the EU internationally. The European Parliament is the Its 751 members, or MEPs, are directly elected by member state citizens. While MEPs are members of national parties, like the CDU, Spanish Socialist Party, or the Law and Justice Party, those national parties sit in pan-European political groups. Currently, there are 7 groupings, ranging from the far left to the far right. From left to right, they are the European United Left, Nordic Green Left, the Socialists and Democrats, the Greens, European Free Trade Alliance, Renew Europe, the European People's Party, the European Conservatives and Reformists grouping. There are also non-aligned members who aren't members of any of these political groupings. Unlike most legislatures, the European Parliament has 2 seats, one in Brussels and another in Strasbourg. By David Sassoli. The euro is the most tangible example of European integration. If you live in the EU, you most likely are paid in euros and pay things. It's used every day by over 300 million Europeans. Driven by a belief that the euro would remove the barrier to the single market, it was given the go-ahead by the 1992 Maastricht Treaty. It was launched in stages between 1999 and 2000. Germany, Austria, Ireland, Spain, Portugal, Italy, France, the Netherlands, Belgium, Finland, Luxembourg, and Greece. Malta, Cyprus, Slovakia, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia. Bulgaria and Croatia are also in the final stages of joining the euro. And outside of the EU, you'll find Kosovo and Montenegro, who also use the euro. All other aspiring member states are legally obliged to adopt the euro, as only the UK and Denmark have opt-outs. The final institution we're going to take a look at in this video is the European Court of Justice, aka the ECJ. As a supreme legal authority, the ECJ is the final court of appeal for disputes EU law. If a French court has a question about EU law, the ECJ clarifies it with a preliminary ruling. If a member state, company, individual, or EU institution is breaking EU laws, those disputes, the ECJ is basically the EU Supreme Court. So let's circle back to the beginning. What is the EU?
Video, right? And right now I want to go around overview of the institution that you heard about, and we will start with European Parliament. The role of European Parliament is a directly elected EU body with legislative, supervisory, and budgetary responsibilities. So, as you know, Parliament is passing EU laws together with the Council of the EU and based on European Commission proposals. They are deciding on international agreements, they are deciding on enlargements, and they are reviewing the Commission's work program and asking it to propose legislation. They are also examining the citizens' petitions and setting up inquiries. They are discussing monetary policy with the European Central Bank. They are establishing the EU budget together with the Council, and they are approving the EU's long-term budgets. This is the president of the European Parliament right now, Roberta Metsola. Yes, it's Roberta Metsola. European Parliament have 705 members of the European Parliament called MEPs, and the European Parliament has three locations in Strasbourg in France, in Brussels in Belgium, and in Luxembourg. Right now, I want to tell you a little. And European Commission promotes the general interest of the EU by proposing and enforcing legislation, as well as by implementing policies in the EU budget. It protects the interest of the EU and its citizens on issues that can be dealt with effectively at national level. It sets EU spending priorities together with the Council and Parliament. It together with the Court of Justice ensures that EU law is properly applied in all the member states. Yeah, and it also represents the EU internationally. It speaks on behalf of all EU countries in international bodies, in particular in areas of trade policy and humanitarian aid, and it negotiates international agreements for the EU. And the European Commission comes with a president, which right now is Ursula von der Leyen, and members, what they are called a team of college of commissioners, and there is one from each EU country. And as you can see, here we have the representation, the building of the European Commission in Brussels. And right now, I want to tell you about Council of the European Union. As you know, we have three councils of the European Europe is not within the European Union. And first, I will tell you about Council of the European Union. So there is no president of the Council of the European Union. Each EU country holds the presidency on a 6-month rotating basis. Right now, Sweden is like the president of the Council of the European Union. And the members are the government ministers from each EU country according to the policy and area to be discussed. So if they need to discuss something about energy, they will call these ministers, and it's ministers from every country about this subject. And the role of the Council of the European Union is to voice of EU member governments, adopting EU laws and coordinating EU policies. It negotiates and adopts EU laws, it coordinates EU countries' policy, it develops the EU's foreign and it adopts the annual EU budget. Next institution we have European Council. The members of the European Council are the heads of state or governments of the EU countries. And the president right now is Charles Michel, the direction and priorities of the European Union, because as you know, all the member countries, they have signed in this council. And the European Council decides on the EU's overall direction and political priorities. And the EU's foreign and security policy with if there are any issues. And the last institution that I want to tell you about, it was not in the video, but it was mentioned because it is directly connected to Eurozone. It is European Central Bank. The members are the president and vice president of European Central Bank and governors of national central banks from the EU countries, from the countries of European Eurozone. And their role is to manage the euro, keep prices stable, and to conduct EU economic and monetary policy. And where it's located, it's in Frankfurt, Germany. About euro and to monitor price trends and assess risks of price stability. And right now we have like a little graph about how EU laws are made. It all starts with citizens, interest groups, experts who discuss and consult. We have something that is called the European Citizens Initiative, where when citizens can initiate some law, and then the Commission makes a formal proposal. Makes proposals, then the Parliament and Council of Ministers decides jointly if they want to pass it or no, or about all of the changes. Then the national or local authorities implement the law, and then European Commission and Court of Justice monitor implementation in every member state. It is much more complicated, but than this, of course. But I wanted to tell you on the simplest level how can we remember what comes next after the other. And at the end, I want to tell you about something that is called EPSO, European Personal Selection Office. It is a website, and it is like a organization, maybe not organization, of the body of the European Union, where you can see how can you work in EU for all the countries, and you can read in all 24 official languages when you work in European institution. what are the selection process, how it looks, and you can also find proposals for jobs here in the European Union. When you will be ready for it, you can get to this website and see the proposals, maybe even apply. So much for your attention. And I hope that you liked my presentation today. I know that you couldn't participate more about this, but I know it is harder to participate in such a great internship and we are online, and when there are so many people in one class. So thank you for your attention, and I hope that you remember some of the things that I said today. Thank you so much. And I hope that we will see each other again. Maybe if you will have some other groups or this group, maybe you can visit Wrocław and visit us in our place, in our Europa home.